Welcome to the Golden Hour, a content series from the Horizon League where we talk about everything going on around the league. I'm Rachel White, and in today's episode, we'll be joined by my colleague Maddie McConnell to talk about all things student-athlete relations and impact, including our Belonging and Impact Plan and our upcoming John McLendon Celebration across basketball. Hi, I'm Rachel White here with Maddie McConnell on this episode of the Golden Hour content series from the Horizon League. Maddie, let's just start. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got here to the Horizon League.
Yeah, of course. As Rachel noted, Maddie McConnell. I'm originally from South Bend, Indiana, so made the trek down here probably about 8 years ago now for school, and wanted to pursue an athletic career in college, but that got held short with injury. And now we are here at the Horizon League in college athletics. So it's funny how things work out, but started here as a McLendon Fellow about 3 years ago, and our McLendon Celebration is coming up, so I'm very excited about that. We'll probably learn more about that here soon. But and turned into an advocate for student athletes at the Horizon League, long story short, in all things professional development and personal development for them. So.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, what your role is with the Horizon League, what that means for you on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month kind of basis.
Yeah, so there's 10 hats, as we all know, with the Horizon League and what we all do. But my official title is the Assistant Director for Student-Athlete Relations and Impact. And so that's student-athlete relations part, again, is creating relationships with our 4,000-plus student-athletes, but on a more intimate level as I travel to campuses and really want them to discover who they are off the playing surface and then helping them prepare for life after sport, as I personally had to figure that out rather quickly than I expected. And so that impact part is more so diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging related. So I've conducted our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging review this past year, and that was very inspiring, very eye-opening as how the league itself can really, strive in that impact and belonging space. And then all things community engagement when it comes around to our basketball championships in March. And then a few other things in between. But yeah, exciting stuff. No day is the same, as we all know in college athletics. But it's been a fun ride for the last 3 years.
All right. Explain a little bit more about what impact and belonging is for those that aren't maybe as familiar with those terms.
Yeah, and so impact and belonging is not necessarily a new term. It's just something to spark interest and grasp our viewers' attention or our membership's attention, our student athletes' attention, to really dive in on the diversity, equity, and inclusion pathway. And really, view it from a different lens and really raise awareness and advocacy in this space. And because it is very prominent over the last few years, and the Horizon League wants to be a catalyst in this space and continue to be. And so that's what impact and belonging does.
Yeah, great. That's great. And as you mentioned, we went through a review in our office, really took a look at that. And from that came a strategic plan specific to impact and belonging. So tell us a little bit more about that, kind of what next steps the league will be taking to continue to be a forerunner in this area.
Yes, very exciting stuff. As you have seen or haven't seen, please go check it out. Our student athletes are at the forefront of this, right? And of course, with me, spearheading this along with our student athletes, we really want to give them a voice, and they are leading the charge because they are the future, whether, it's the reality that they are the future, right? And so using their voice is really prominent for that. And then that in turn will trickle down into how we provide resources to our membership and how we, advocate for different issues and civic issues going around across the country. And again, using the student athlete voice is a prominent goal for us with this plan. And we're looking forward to it. And we've already implemented it for the past few months now and looking forward to continue it for the next 3 years because it does happen every 4 years. We've done it for a year now, and now looking forward to now 2028 for the next one.
Very exciting. Mm-hmm. And we talked just a little bit about John McLendon early on. Obviously, you started with us as a fellow through that foundation. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about how he ties into really our mission around kind of these initiatives.
Yeah. So John McLendon, for those who don't know, he was the one and the only to break the color barrier in collegiate sports and through coaching. And he did that at one of our, member institutions in Cleveland State. And that's why the Horizon League, takes so much pride in his legacy and bringing advocacy and awareness to his name and, putting his name in a light where it could be next to Dr. Martin Luther King, it could be next to Rosa Parks, it could be next to all the trailblazers as far as impact and belonging is concerned. We want to, raise his sights and do the same thing as John McLendon.
It's incredible that we have such an impactful individual that was at one of our Horizon League institutions. So really cool we're able to honor that. Obviously, we have our McLendon Celebration coming up. It's going to be a week long this year in February, as it has been the last several years. So what's on the horizon for that celebration this year?
Yes, very exciting. It is a week long. We want to, highlight him as long as possible, and to as many people as possible. We want to make that reach as far as we can. And so this time around, we are advocating on every home game campus as far as basketball games are concerned. And again, using that student athlete voice, you'll see some videos, you'll see my face maybe, you'll see along with some of my colleagues' voices as well who were McLendon Fellows alongside with me. And really, again, advocating for him because he is a name that everyone should know. And my goal personally is to have our 4,000 plus student athletes know his name as well.
It's great, and we will have a later edition of the show. We'll talk a little bit more with Kobe Mosley, who's our current McLendon Fellow, so that'll be exciting ahead of the celebration. But one more important question for you, Maddie.
Oh, man.
This edition of Start, Bench, and Cut.
Okay.
All right, your choices are Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, and Sushi Boss.
Okay, disclaimer. Jaggers is better than Chick-fil-A. We'll put that in there for the next guy. Okay,
noted.
All right. Okay, so start, bench, cut. It was Chick-fil-A,
Chipotle,
and
Sushi Boss.
We're going to cut Chick-fil-A. We are going to bench Sushi Boss.
Ooh.
Start Chipotle.
All right, I like that. That is a surprising answer for a lot of folks. Watch out, Chick-fil-A. Maddie's getting ready.
Jaggers, if you haven't heard, now you know. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time today, Maddie. We are really looking forward to hearing more about Belonging and Impact throughout the year with some of our great content and our upcoming McLendon celebration. So this has been another episode of The Golden Hour with Rachel White and Maddie McConnell. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Golden Hour. You can follow along with us on our social media platforms at Horizon League and listen to the podcast anywhere you enjoy podcasts. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope you make a major impact this week.